Welcome to Sad Boys, a podcast about feelings and other things also. I'm Jarvis.
It all began with our founder, S. Truett Cathy, naming his restaurants after his famous signature Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. Chick was a quote, chick to represent our juicy chicken.
Okay.
And filet as a play on the word filet.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah. What?
I don't know if that needed explaining.
Is that it? We were just talking about it before the show. I thought maybe there'd be, something. It's just a play on word. They could call it anything.
Yeah, and then there's a cow for some reason.
Oh, that's right. Yes, the cat eat more chicken.
Eat more chicken cow.
Hello.
And this is Jordan.
Hi.
He's our resident Wikipedia guy.
Nice to see you. Yeah,
You're like Brian David Gilbert in Actually.
The Wikipedia guy.
You just search things.
I love that little room that he's in. His little bedroom.
Yeah, he's in his little bedroom.
I assume that's where he lives.
He's the guy who started Chick-fil-A. Interesting.
Brian David Gilbert. Oh, yeah. Nice. Pretty cool. How you doing? What's up?
I come with you bearing great shame.
I was a diss track about you.
Dude, Kendrick hates my ass. He said some really unbecoming things about me.
But also, that was actually my idea.
But I actually planted it. I sent him a letter and I said, "Here's all the bad things about me."
Now, everyone.
Here's all the bad things about Jarvis, not me. I'm not the one sending you this letter. I mean, Jarvis is not the one sending.
Shit.
It's really hard to not speak in first person for me.
Sorry, had to change pens.
Had to change pens. Really should have typed this.
Don't remember what I wrote. Oh, I should have crossed out the part above.
Anyway,
don't have
definitely don't talk about any of the bad stuff about moi.
That little line, like, how am I going to send this out? You fly for bridge.
Oh, it's the end of Stan. Yeah. I drive into a bridge.
You come bearing.
Oh, yeah. Bridge. So last night I went to drinks with a friend and it was great. However, cool. I came home and I ordered not one, but 2 Uber Eats orders.
How devilish. Concurrent,
because I was getting impatient.
And it was same thing.
No, no different things. It's worse. Okay. I ordered Wingstop.
I've never seen this posture on you before.
I'm so sad.
You are praying.
I'm asking for your forgiveness.
Oh, yeah, I guess put in a separator between us.
Yeah. So I ordered Wingstop. I'm gonna start crying. I ordered Wingstop, and then the Wingstop wasn't arriving fast enough. And then I ordered a little bit of Jack in the Box.
A little bit.
And they had a hamburger. And so then the worst possible thing happened, which is I ordered one of them because it wasn't happening fast enough. And then the same man delivered both orders. Oh, which I didn't even think was possible because I feel like I shouldn't have to pay 2 delivery fees if Roger shows up with both bags.
The same devilish man.
And then Roger shows up. His real name's not Roger, but
What's his real name?
Rogelio.
Oh, okay.
That's also not his real name. I'll never tell. And so Roger, shows up and he goes, "I got 2 orders for you." And I'm like, "You don't have to rub it in. Yeah. You don't have to tell me."
There's been some kind of mistake made.
What I've done.
No one could be this way.
Yeah.
The one's for my dog.
Yeah, that was my homie. I did.
Friend.
I did go on a date with somebody recently, and I said I was hanging out with my dog, and she said, "Is that a person or an animal?"
That's a really good point.
And I was like, honestly, valid question.
It could be you could be talking about the podcast.
Oh man, I was just hanging out with my dog. It's just like that's not my parlance.
Sure.
Tried to say it in the whitest way possible. That's not my vernacular.
Or it's not quite the dialectic I would use at this time.
Yeah. But
bud,
buddy, bucko, sport.
White people got a lot of ones.
I know, dude. It's kind of crazy.
Underrated. Sport underrated.
But no, I just and so I thought that was funny. But anyway, and then I did eat them both. And
same time? Like kind of a
Yeah, it was kind of a
buffet.
challenger situation.
that's pretty
It
cool,
was
actually.
like I kind of went to town
That's kind of appealing.
on the bed.
You wearing
I made 'em both-
sunglasses, Chick-fil-A in one eye.
I made them both kiss.
Incredible movie. I saw it for the second time last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. But yeah, so
This guy's a pervert. What the hell?
the shame is in that it was like midnight and I didn't need this is like a problem I have where it's like I don't need to eat a meal, but it was midnight and I had had a few drinks, so all of my inhibitions were down. And that's the worst way for me to be. When I need my inhibitions up. I need the AT field surrounding me. I need the defenses at maximum.
Release your inhibitions.
I can't feel the rain on my
your
skin. This is much like my letter to Kendrick Lamar, written and not unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield.
I will give you as I guess the priest. Is that who listens to confessions?
Yeah, I think
The
it's
king.
Yeah,
the
king.
church king.
The king of the church.
Is it true in Catholicism you can just give him a number of Hail Marys and like, all good. You're covered.
I don't know.
Hey, 2,000 Hail Marys and it's
Is it like bottle caps?
yeah.
Like
you have
Fallout?
to gather them as resources
Yeah.
and then head to Megaton. Is that in the show? I've only played the games.
I have only watched 2 episodes of the show, and I had to stop because
Is this gonna happen?
I got nervous.
Oh no!
I was like, I need to go underground.
This guy looks nasty.
I had to stop because I have a gigantic crush on Ella Purnell, one of the lead actresses of the show. And it started making me sad that she'll never know who I am.
Well, hold on. We've brought her here today.
Fuck. Oh, fuck.
Oh, she was killed by radiation.
Oh, she canceled.
Ah, she's a ghoul.
Oh, no. No, but I did watch the first 2 episodes. It's good.
I feel that way about I legitimately feel that way when I see like clips of modern day WWE. I'm like, I'll never get to have actually met Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Go on his weird ranch.
That's how I'm starting to feel about I'm starting to feel about NBA players' salaries. I'll be like, I want $50 million a year.
What haven't I done?
Why can't I have that?
That's not fair. Imagine the Uber Eats I'd be able to get with this.
Imagine I could order 3 things at the same time. And then Roger shows up and he goes, I can't believe this happened.
He's carrying it 3 bags like he's trying to get through the door with groceries. And he's stumbling.
Oh my God. And the places were really close to me too. So like Roger just like took a straight beeline and hit both.
Who won? Who franchise wise? I used to live next to a Jack in the Box and I would indulge in that small breakfast and spice.
You know what? Jack in the Box is the closest, other than McDonald's, the closest fast food to me. And I've been adopting it more and becoming more and more familiar with the menu.
Guys, loop that into the triangulation that we're working on Jarvis's address.
Ooh.
Don't forget, some of the details are in there. Can I do the first line?
No,
Okay,
that's
no,
the
it's
most
just one
important line.
Oh, right.
That's the line with all the info.
Can I do those little numbers at the end?
No, that also uniquely identifies an area.
No, that's to send mail. So they can
No.
send stuff.
No, it's a zone.
Go ahead, 91081. Go ahead, guys.
Do you know what zip in zip code stands for?
It's the instant post.
The
The instant post.
the instant.
I need my mail now.
I don't know what it stands for, but I do think the Z is for zone.
I never thought about it being an acronym. I kind of assumed it was,
Well, it might not be an acronym, and I may have just made this up. Let me see.
means
This is one of those classic. Did Jarvis? Oh, zone improvement plan.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what? That's way far off than what I would have
I would
guessed.
have guessed that they were introduced earlier than 1963.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
The
like,
zone sucks. We have to do something.
well, because
about it.
in a lot of places they don't have a system like that, and it's like less efficient, or it's like hard to deliver things or to know where things are supposed
What
to be
was yours?
delivered. Nope, we're not allowed to say that.
No, well, what was the one for?
90210, baby.
Hey.
Yeah, baby, living the dream. Okay, guys, go ahead and eliminate Beverly Hills from the list because we did that as a joke. You can
No,
just-
no, you can. No, we are in Beverly Hills. Let's say that. We're in
Or
Beverly Hills. That's where I want to be.
am.
Remember Weezer?
That's where I am.
No,
now.
yeah, it's where I am right now. So yeah, a zip zone improvement plan. That's another one of those random Jarvis facts where it just bounces around in my head and I go, did you know this? I don't know for sure. Let's look it up. And then it is.
It is something.
Yeah, because I'm never confident enough to say a falsehood. Because I just don't want to be wrong. And so I always just go, I don't know nothing. And then it'll be like the exact 15 digits of pi.
Hey, boss, I don't know
nothing.
Hey, 3 point. I don't know nothing like that.
Anyway, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm okay. I had a thought in my brain.
Oh, that's exciting.
Huge news. Big pop off. I have been pre-approved for a PayPal credit card.
Oh.
I know that this was acknowledged a few episodes ago.
That's exciting.
I just want everyone to know I got another email about it.
Okay.
So in case anyone was worried that I've been unapproved for a PayPal credit, I haven't applied for it. I just want everyone to know. Pre-approved. Look, I'm doing pretty well for myself. You know what can I say? PayPal has, I guess, noticed that I'm.
They noticed how well you're doing. Yeah.
They saw some of my numbers and they
wanted in on that.
They saw my zip code. They saw 91004, and they said, "This guy." Oh, you're looking to see if you're pre-approved.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Oh, it says you're ugly. Wow.
It said I was pre-disapproved.
It said, just so you know, don't bother applying.
Yeah,
this is for Jordan.
Yeah, but do you know Jordan? Yeah, can you pass this along? Perhaps you have a zip code we could reach him by.
No, don't. Can you say it out loud?
I'll tell you an email I just got. So I have a lot of emails.
Respect.
It's kind of like a Horcrux situation, right?
Just in case.
Can't catch them all.
You have to archive every Jarvis email to kill you.
So this is one of the lesser used emails of mine. And I guess it's connected to TikTok because I got an email. Hi, Jarvis. And by the way, this is from Roger.
Oh, okay. Jesus. He's bought 2 emails to you at the same time.
Yeah, he's like, P.S. How was that new Jack in the Box smash burger? Turns out it's pretty good.
Catch you later, pal.
Not sponsored, however. Jack in the Box, call us.
94105 zip code. Feel free to.
I met the box. I met Jack.
That's right. We went to that thing.
And at the time that I met Jack, because we went to this event.
Picture of Jack and Jarvis here.
I don't know if we have it. I mean, it must exist. So we were going to this event that was put on by Chain, and they basically like mash up fine dining with fast food. And so they'll do these like installations, these little pop-ups where it's like Jack in the Box X Michelin star chefs, and they make a really fancy version of the food.
With the mission of disabusing me of any notion that like Red Robin could be that good in real life.
Oh yeah,
because I haven't been to a handful of them, and then like
they're
like, don't go to real Sonic, so they won't deliver.
So we went to the Jack in the Box one, and I got pulled aside to like do a little video content with Jack in his box. And
Jack's kind of clout focused. I'll say it.
Yeah, he was like, "How many followers do you have before we can talk?"
Yeah, show me your social blade.
What's your good cards? Have you ordered just Jack in the Box recently, or did you order something else?
Yes, sir.
Oh fuck, not Wingstop. I mean, shit.
Fuck.
And at the time of that video that Jacob has, I had not actually had Jack in the Box, and I didn't know anything about Jack in the Box. And so they asked me what my favorite Jack in the Box thing was. And I had talked to somebody earlier that day who said Breakfast Jack was a thing at Jack in the Box. And so I just go, it's got to be Breakfast Jack.
Be breakfast.
Easy.
It's going to be Jack's breakfast.
But now, if I were asked that same question, I would have a 5-paragraph essay of thoughts about the menu.
Is that what the email is?
Yeah.
It's a lot of that.
It's a restraining order from all Jack in the Boxes.
The box.
So no, this email... Hi, Jarvis. I noticed that you don't have a YouTube channel.
I noticed that.
I love these, man. We get so many, like if you have a YouTube channel, it doesn't even matter how big the channel is.
It doesn't matter at all.
You just get tons and tons of emails that just say shit like this. I noticed you don't have a YouTube channel. And with a US TikTok ban imminent, I'm wondering if you thought about switching up which channels you post on.
Oh, which you don't have.
Which I don't have, yeah.
Yes.
And then it talks about some of the people that they've worked with. Can I send some case studies of our best performing video ideas for the world's largest creators to see if a short chat is worth your time? I kind of do want to follow up and ask. It's like a psychology experiment because they're like, should I let you know some epic viral bacon ideas, Like, And I'm like, sure, I need ideas.
Some PogChamp le swag.
And then at the end it says, P.S. YouTube CPM is a lot higher than TikTok, and there's no threat of a ban. There might be a TikTok ban, so maybe it's time to move to YouTube.
I'm like, what's TikTok? Do you mean Musical.ly?
Yeah. But yeah, how are you doing?
Not bad.
Other than the PayPal credit card, which is exciting. You're up.
I mentioned that?
You did mention it, yeah.
Jacob, you heard about it?
I heard.
Pre-approved. So I didn't even have to do anything.
Do you think you're going to go for it?
I've been pre-approved. It's done.
No, you still have to say, like, give me the card.
You don't know shit.
That's true. I did not get approved.
You just walk up to any establishment you want. Put it on my PayPal.
Put it on my
Fire away. You guys,
you do it like a Jedi mind trick. You're like, I've got a PayPal card.
Fire away. You want to go home and get me some coffee? I'm good, man. It's been a funny 2 weeks, I guess. My partner has been moving. Mm. Which when I've said that, they're like, "Oh, moving in." I'm like, "Oh no, no. Certified bachelor, lifestyle wise.
Certified lover boy. Certified.
No.
I'm sorry.
Not certified.
Oh man,
not one.
We got to talk about that. And we will.
What a strange situation for him to be certified. I don't even know. Is there a board that does? But pre-approved.
He must have been the same people, actually. Yeah.
No. The PayPal one is for cool guys.
I do think it's the same.
No, they're unrelated.
Roger's like, I do two things.
But yeah, there's I popped it on the board. We've been engaging in the friendship meta.
Okay.
Where we've been doing things with friends.
Oh, you and I.
Yes,
we have.
Which is, but my partner moving means she's been staying with me. Mm-hmm. Her and the dog been staying with me. It's been a nice hangout. And that combined with 2 at least significant hangouts. Like
True.
We went monkey mode. We went ape. And then we had our birthday time.
We did.
And I feel like my cardio for hanging out has improved.
Right.
Doing it, not, giving myself time to rest and recover a little bit.
Yes.
But pushing myself a little more than I might normally.
Yeah.
I think it was the day we recorded that we also went monkey mode.
We did, yeah. It was like a little bit of a break, but then we came back because I had a different thing that I might be doing the next day. And so we were like, oh, let's actually move it to Wednesday, which is, today, but it was last week because we do the show on Wednesdays.
You, me, and Eddie watched War for the
War
Planet
4.
Yes.
The Planet of the Apes.
War on the Planet of the Apes.
Not to be confused with Rise of and
Dawn of.
That order. Don't mix it up.
No.
It's James Franco. And then just apes. But they had to set it up. It's like you got to think about it as like a little James Franco prequel.
Uh-huh. Now, my favorite actor.
James
certified. He is actually certified.
Lover boy, yeah. Unfortunately, he is certified.
But yeah, I've been in a coma for 10 years. Did something happen with it? Oh, I mean, that's another thing is the whole diss back and forth has been... Actually, our group text, you, me, and Eddie, is, I feel like, an extension of the friendship matter. We've been talking about the diss tracks, and it's been a really nice, because I don't know how you feel. I know we both have limited battery, especially kind of relative to the week, and other factors can be the outside of it. It's
another thing where I'm like trying to figure out ways to grow that battery.
It's like, it really, it's like the first time you go back to the gym and then you're like, ow, what the hell?
Oh,
what happened? I took a month off and all of a sudden it hurts. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And initially I was like, I don't know, I already did a big podcast today. Can I go ape already? And then I just did. And it was like, oh. Yeah. You just have to choose the scale that you can handle.
Yeah.
And then we had our little birthday bash. We were the birthday bastards.
We were the birthday bastards. To the point of doing a lot of things, actually. Today, we are, just peeling back the curtain a little bit. We're recording this episode, obviously. Then afterward, we always record Sad Boyz Nightz, the Patreon episode. Patreon.com/sadboys for as low as $5.
Not obliged, but if you fancy.
Not obliged, but if you fancy. It's discretionary entertainment spending. Never worry about it. Never worry about it.
There's no. Please do not be guilty. Please don't DM us like I'm so sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
Never worry about it. That's not why we're here. But if you are able to subscribe, wonderful. And we also recently put out some content from Sad Boyz Nightz on our highlights channel, which you'll be seeing more uploads from in the sort of commentary video length of like, 15, 20 minutes. Just so happened to be when we talked about Tom McDonald for like 2 hours on Sad Boyz Nightz, we cut that down into a little 20-minute video.
Something less deranged.
Something more condensed. It's a concentrated derangement.
Yes. Well, it's funny for us to make the team watch it as much as possible.
True.
That's funny.
We're trying to run up the numbers by which Jacob has to watch the best rapper alive, I think.
It's like half of his views are just me.
You and a 75-year-old grandma who's saying, normally I don't like rap music, but...
Usually it's spelled with a C at the start, but this guy's cool.
After that, we are recording a monthly show we do for our $15 patrons. And this is even Omega, you don't have to subscribe to it. But we'll do like a little extra react. But it's there if you're like really dying for the extra content. We have a monthly watch along like commentary piece. You've seen us do, tons of stuff together commentary wise. And so this is just like more of that. But the reason I mentioned that is because we're doing all of that today. And that's a little experiment. We'll see how it goes. But then after that, Jarvis has a big day. After that, I'm going to get a haircut. Just a little cleanup.
Fuck, I was supposed to do that.
It's okay.
Rats.
I also do need to, and one thing I haven't done, I need to wash a shirt for something we're filming tomorrow that people may not see by Friday, so I'm not sure.
Yes.
So we don't want to announce it yet.
I guess no. Right?
Probably not, because it's pre-recorded bits are tomorrow. But anyway, we're filming something tomorrow. It's a collab. It'll be exciting. People are going to have fun with that.
But it's a day. That's a whole day. That's a whole shebang.
But then after that, I'm going back to boxing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm just doing it once or twice a week.
Pissing you off. You do not want to film this thing.
Yeah.
End of day, you'll be boxing the team there. They don't know this.
I've been trying to become the active bastard, so to speak.
Yes.
Because, well, that's also why I'm so sad about, I'm going to forgive myself, everybody. Don't worry about it. And I only say this because I think people relate to it. But I've been eating healthy and, drinking my liquid IV for my like hydration. Oh my God, I'm so hydrated, dude. I've never drank so much water in my life. I haven't had soda in a while.
You haven't?
No, respect. I mean, other than, here and there, but I've been trying to just stick to water and then my like liquid IV for like my workouts and stuff. And last night I was drinking, so I like drank the liquid IV for like, make sure I was like not dehydrated. But I'm just trying to go fit mode. Sure. Trying to like just
the cardio best.
It's birthday just came along, getting older. Want to really make sure
we're now both in our dirty 30s. Emphasis on the dirty.
Emphasis on the dirty.
Filthy.
So I also started playing basketball again.
That's right. You're the ball bastard. Also
played this Sunday with the stanzas.
You picked up
with the Yard Boys.
Oh,
yeah, with Luddy.
Okay, who was worse? Who's like the worst player?
Ooh.
Who should everyone message and say nice ball?
Well, so nice ball.
Nice ball, idiot.
Well, Hugs was there for the first time, and I was there for the first time.
Yoked.
Yeah, very yoked. Oh, dude, everybody's yoked, man. That's what I'm trying to get on. Like, Point Crow is ripped. Hugs is ripped.
A lot of sleeper bods in our
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They were like, let's do shirts and skins. And I was like, I will be a shirt. Actually, I was on the skins team, but I kept my shirt on. Because I'm like, look, I'm not there yet. We'll get there.
The Lakers aren't swimming, Bell. Okay, it's just a name.
We'll get there. But it was a lot of fun, and I'm gonna go back. And that's good. That's good for like a weekly thing. But then throughout the week, I've been trying to just practice myself solo. It's a lot more fun for me than doing straight cardio because I get so bored running.
It's unmemorable too.
Yeah, and I still do need to do it because I need to like I think I'm about to become the Apple Watch bastard again.
Oh yeah,
because I haven't been because I
you gotta pick a bastardly lane.
I know. The like I normally wear my like normal watch that I like, So I think I'm going to have to double wrist
Right now,
it.
you're the time bastard.
Right now I'm the time lord, time bastard, time wizard, so to speak. So I'm just trying to find more ways to keep myself active and that's fun for me.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. I've been really sad. And I don't know how much I've talked about it on the show, but
I think you've talked about it, but I think maybe it's easy to underestimate the space in between episodes.
Yeah.
It's not so much like you woke up right before the show and had to put it down.
Like, it's like people are like, what do you mean sad boys? You guys are so happy. It's like, I'm depressed. And
We're just very good at it.
I'm like really happy that I can do the things that I'm able to do, but there is so much more that I want from my life. And I think like coming to terms with that and trying to figure out how to navigate that is something I want. I want to have a balanced life. I want to have a social life. I want to like not be sort of bedrotting most of the time.
Yeah.
And
there's no value in like devaluing that feeling because other things could be going well or because you're valuing other things. It's arbitrary. It's like,
no, I'm so fortunate that, I'm able to do the things I'm able to do. But for example, like I haven't put out a main channel video in 8 months, and that's something that I don't want to be the case, but it just is. And I have to like accept that. And I have to like, figure out what steps I need to take to like be in the right place for things.
The solution isn't do it.
Yeah.
Like that's just, which is an easy mindset
for
to get
some
locked
things,
in.
it's like getting over the hump. It feels as simple as do it, but acknowledging that like me doing something sometimes is like a series of wearing those internal walls down in order to get over that hump to like action.
Because there's been a version of you that did enjoy putting out those videos. It's not like you're trying to leverage a idea, a fictional Jarvis, that. And there's like a more achievable hump of I'm going to hop in the car and go to the court. And now you get to play basketball, a thing you want to do.
Right. And I even before I went, because there was a couple weeks, maybe even more than a month, where I was talking to Rochelle and Rochelle was like, you got to come out and play with us. And I was like,
don't tell me what to do.
Don't tell me what I can't do. I'm
dead.
But am I? But I had this like little mental block where I was like, well, I haven't played basketball in a long time. And so then there was like this slow thing of like, I bought a basketball and then I bought a little thing to like inflate my, basketball. And then I like needed to find places I could play kind of solo where I like, cause I don't want to, a lot of my skills that I've developed in my life, I've been able to do in private.
Yeah.
It's like when I learned the High School Musical dances when I was 14, I did it alone in a room and then I got good at them. And then I was able to like put it on YouTube. Then I was able to like show people at my high school and impress them or whatever.
Well, you don't want to be self-conscious when the thing you're supposed to be doing is fun. And it's not just the exercise element, right? Like go play basketball, have a really good, not self-conscious time.
Oh my God, yeah.
And kind of hone the blade a little bit instead of just going and then being demoralized. He's like, I just can't even fucking dribble the ball.
Yeah, so I'm and it's not, and I want to say this for anybody who's going through stuff right now. It is not a linear process because I feel, and this is, it doesn't feel fair sometimes. Like my therapy last week, I was in such a bad mood to the point where I cut therapy short and I told my therapist, like, I'm so sorry. I can't do this right now. And it's just like, that's just what it was.
Yeah, I think we were texting a little bit before.
Yeah. And, but the primary frustration that I was experiencing last week was I feel like I'm doing everything right, but I'm not seeing the results.
They're indicting you.
They're still indicting me. I'm still sad. I'm still like not feeling like I have energy. And it's like, that's a real feeling. And it also is, I'm just sort of speaking for myself. I'm going to keep at it and I'm going to keep trying to chip away at this thing and, like lifestyle change. And because at this point, it feels like all of these new things and sort of getting the friend cardio up and stuff is a lifestyle change because I've become so calcified in my like sort of introverted ways where I think I was like ambiverted like when I was in San Francisco, because as soon as I moved to LA, I was like, I'm going to start setting up friend hangouts and things like that.
And also, I mean, working in an office so much, that's almost like your job being playing basketball.
Right.
Where
right.
like you can only get so out of shape when it comes to hanging out
Yeah,
with
you're
people.
right. I was getting so much social cardio.
Yeah. It's like working at a gym.
Yeah.
Like you can only get that so much out of shape.
As like a personal trainer. It's like, But like I was getting so much social cardio by osmosis, by just having side conversations, needing to jump into a meeting, needing to say this. The like talking to someone face to face wasn't like, I've never been good with eye contact, but like I had so many reps because I was constantly flexing that muscle. Yeah. Whereas it moved into moving to a new town. Oh, surprise, pandemic. Now everything's virtual. Oh, I'm just spending all my time inside. I'm playing RuneScape. I'm eating Dave's Hot Chicken. I gained a bunch of weight. I'm like not feeling great about my body. That's another detractor about like me wanting to like go out and experience the world. And yeah, like that created these current habits that I'm trying to unseat, where I like know what my goal is and what my happy place is. And I just am only able to take incremental steps to get there. And I can't just jump back into a life that I once had.
Yes, yeah. It'd be easy to look at that version of yourself and say, well, that was just a version of myself that was better at stuff. And that's why more of the goals that I have now were happening.
Right.
Whereas at the time, it's always maybe a little time dismissive when I feel like people say this because it's a platitude sometimes, but it's easy to appreciate what you don't have, grass is green, right?
Oh, of course.
Very cliche, kind of been soiled by how much it could be overused or whatever. And sometimes it is dismissive. It's like, I don't want to hear this person complaining, overwhelming, hey, things could be worse. When in reality, I mean, things could always be worse, but things can always be better. And it's nothing wrong with looking for greener grass.
Right.
And there's those versions of ourselves, some stats were so much higher. Maybe our spell slots we had like a better capacity for. Our scaling was stronger. Our equipment was better.
Right.
But now our whiz is so much higher, to the point where I remember talking about between the two of us, but also just independently, I know we would have these insecurities or fears or the impact of failing at something had like catastrophic impact. I feel like something slipping up, a relatively minor mistake, that's like a sleepless night back then. And now it's not it's like seamless,
right?
But there's, it's kind of like when you watch like X Games and someone goes 500 feet in the air, falls off the skateboard, but like lands okay.
Yeah,
and
how did that happen?
Oh, you've just fallen off the skateboard so many times.
Yeah.
You know you're not going to die when you do it.
Right, and you have the presence of mind to brace yourself in the right ways.
Yeah, almost not even on purpose. You just kind of move
it's like
that way.
Instinctive, yeah.
And now it's like the low ebb depression, which I know we've both got running at the moment and pops up, consistently here and there. That is, I think, the hardest one to get rid of, because it's just being tired, which when something is like, don't get me wrong, generally I prefer it to something really bad happening. But when something bad happens, there is almost like a timeline. There's something distinct about it. Like, well, when bad things happen, it's the worst right now. Oh, and then there are going to be four more stages until it's resolved. Who knows how long it'll take, but there are stages.
Yeah.
But then when those stages are over and you return back to low ebb, you're like, well, shit. And now I don't know how to do this one. No one does, because it's each person's low ebb. Maybe part of it is diet, maybe part of it is practical, but then part of it's just like fatigue. Hanging out with people lately is. My psychiatrist asked me the other day. It was it's like, how are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. He's like, but like, these details, this detail. And I'm like, oh yeah, this. And he went like, how's the mourning process? I was like, you're right. I forgot. Yeah. That's like, it becomes a normal now. It's been 6 months.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's very easy for me to criticize myself, and it's not very easy for me to give myself my own flowers, you know, for progress well made. Or
It's literally easy to criticize yourself because that's like survival mechanism. We're supposed to.
Yeah, it's the way my therapist and I talk about it is like I have this inner critic, and it is like long outgrown its usefulness in terms of it's I'm no longer fighting to survive.
Yeah, it's like an appendix.
Yeah.
It just doesn't apply to life now.
It sort of is so ingrained in my thought processes that I am like fighting against it. And it's like there's often these narratives that are sort of born of the critic that I have to like internally navigate.
You have to tell him he's wrong.
Exactly. It's like a propagandist inside of my own brain that's like putting up posters about how I like don't work hard enough or like, you know, and it's like trying to convince everything else in my mind.
And your instinct is to like, I want to facts and logic him out of it. And it's like, he doesn't,
yeah.
This guy's in doc. You're never going to win.
He's bad faith.
You're never going to change his mind.
Exactly. Yeah. He's bad faith because that's the oxygen he breathes.
Yeah.
So to give myself a little bit of flowers, yesterday, one of the things that was really good, Anastasia and I went to a coffee shop to work a little bit. Try to get out of the house just because like that's another part of it. It's like now that we have the office here and then I also live upstairs, which is great for not having an office in LA because that's like just not another expense that we want. But and it's great that there are separate spaces, but there is still something about getting out of the house, you know?
Oh yeah.
And
that's like if you know, like hanging out with friends is just straight up going to the gym.
Yeah.
Intensive lifting session. Then hanging out in an office is consistent cardio. Working at a gym. Going and working at a cafe with or without friends, that's just going for a walk.
Right.
It's something and it's going to have a huge impact, but it feels, at the time, you're just like, there's just a cafe.
So many things. So it's literally like down my street, in my neighborhood, I've walked down these streets.
No, it's a coffee place.
Not this time.
I'm
not telling you the zone improvement plan.
Fine. I can improve myself then.
I walk down these streets when I'm doing Pokemon Go walks or when I'm walking with Dipper, but I never go into any of the shops. And so I was like, oh, wow, this is here. And there's like a whole community happening. I saw like, I'm like a regular at this other like brunch place that I'll go to a lot. And I saw someone who works there. The barista probably recognized me, and it was a weird interaction.
Do a look?
No, it was like Anastasia and I sat down. I went up, got in line. I was like, oh yeah, could I get this? And then could I grab a decaf? I'm drinking decaf right now because of my meds. But
hi, I noticed you don't have a YouTube channel.
She was like, oh yeah, are you sitting right there? And I was like, yeah, interesting that you clock that because there's a lot of people here. And then she was like, Jarvis, right? I'm pretty sure I've never been to this cafe before.
Right.
And if I have, not enough for them to remember my name.
Bold strategy.
And I'm like, do I recognize you from somewhere? I didn't ask. I didn't have it in me to ask, how did you know that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think I was wearing a name tag that said, hi, my name is Jarvis.
You didn't have that on at the time?
Not that day.
Sure.
And I was like, that's actually a kind of low-key recognition that's sweet.
That's nice.
Yeah. But that was a cool thing because I don't do that every week. And I'm like, I'm getting a little bit out of my comfort zone.
Going to the
cafe and then, or working from the cafe. And I may do that more in the future, or I would love to do that more in the future.
Did it feel different because I guess you've been here a little while now, but this is
like new spot, like kind of
putting the cement down.
A little bit, but I think
like painting your walls, you know?
I was like, oh yeah, more of like community. I think I had that briefly when I first moved to LA because I didn't know anybody and I was like going out and about. But then everything shut down so quick after I moved that I like feel like I lost that. And I'm trying to like kind of reclaim a little bit of that. Oh, I want to be a citizen, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of just like this on an island. And
bet.
Yeah.
I want to be a citizen, not on that island.
I know, dude. Wow, that was actually bars. But yeah, and so then there was that, and I'm like, okay, let me give myself some flowers for doing that. We came back, did some meetings, then got a call that was a very emotionally strenuous call. Would have derailed me 9 times out of 10 in the last, few months. And I still had plans last night to go get drinks. And somehow during this call, I'm going, there's no way I have to cancel the rest of my plans today. Cause that's my instinct.
Sure.
my instinct is just to say cancel everything. I canceled our birthday plans initially because I was like, I was feeling really sad on Saturday, more like Saturday, and then our birthday was Sunday, more like Saturday.
Then we found out it wasn't called that,
and I read the calendar and I realized I was stupid.
Birthday,
so, birthday. So, but then like I had friends like hitting us up, hey, what's the birthday plan? And it like truly like Eddie texted me, and he was like, yo, what's the plan for tomorrow? Didn't cross my mind that my friends would want to hang out with me on my birthday after I'd canceled everything. Because I was like, I didn't invite anybody. I didn't think I'd been busy that whole week and I didn't take the time and the plan. I like didn't make a plan. Anastasia came through in the clutch and was like, I got reservations at this place. And then still on Saturday, I was like, that's great. And then I just like, everything became too much. And then I was just like, fuck it. I'm going to punish myself for no reason. Sure. And I'm just going to like sit in bed and sulk.
It was, I think, the worst case scenario typically is when we at the same time aren't lifting either one up. But also, these are not new friends, but I think we have always, for a long time, been that other person. And now it feels like there's some more insurance people. It's like, there's
and that's the value layers of community.
Shout out to Anastasia, but also Chrissy, as far as plans people go.
Oh yeah, Chrissy's always
down to go on short notice, down to be flexible. And in fact, I don't want to project or try and take a guess or anything like that, because I'm sure that it's easy to go like, it's crazy that Chrissy just doesn't struggle with any of this stuff. I don't think that's true. I think she is just a great...
Different people have different stat loadouts.
I think there's absolutely a world where she has exactly the same, again, not diagnosing or people that we know that are super, super socially flexible are able to just go. I think they maybe just are really good at this thing we're working on. Like they present when I have a like not super close friend, but like there's like a handful of friends that throw a number of parties and we'll end up at those fairly often. Often those people think, I would assume you as well, but they think I'm an extrovert.
Oh yeah.
I'm always a little ambivalent
when I'm there.
When it comes to like that terminology even, because we all contain dimensions or whatever. But it's like, no, I've come to play. I'm going to like, it'd be like if you go back from the court, like, have you guys noticed that Jarvis is always playing basketball?
He lives
at this court.
It can sometimes feel, at least right now, it kind of feels like a performance where I like don't always have the juice to like go on stage. And that's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah. I mean, literally the live show now, cherished memory, so fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's not a tool. I didn't think I could get up from where I woke up that day into that kind of mode.
Right.
The podcast kind of feels like training for what we're describing as well, a little bit.
Mm-hmm, just like, a bit.
We just do it.
Because I think when we bring on guests, most of the guests we bring on are just like people I want to be friends with.
Yeah.
And it's like a friends on training wheels type situation where we have a task and it's to do the podcast, but then we also get to like figure out if we can be buddies, or it's just an excuse to hang out with friends we already have.
Eddie coming into the fold lately. I'll give a shout out to Eddie.
Oh yeah,
I feel like we've leveled up.
Shout out to Big E.
Big E money. E, his brother T. C, his girlfriend C.
But I guess to cap that off, definitely like still in the thick of it, but there are, as much as my critic wants to deny it, I am seeing evidence that I am building more of this social battery, more of this like sort of, I am making progress towards that life that I want. And I can't like keep judging myself against the destination.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, you're not at the destination yet, so it's a failure. So you're not making progress. It's like looking at yourself in the mirror every day.
Sure.
At the gym.
And you never said to yourself, that was never the deadline, today. That was never you didn't set that for yourself and miss it. It was a process the whole time.
Right.
Like if we like don't put out the episode tomorrow, it's like, well, that wasn't when we don't do Thursday. That's not when we put the episode out. Why are we mad at ourselves?
Or like we had a couple episodes where we put them out on Monday because I needed to do some thumbnail fiddling and I couldn't get myself to do it over the weekend. And that's okay. Because I mean, like,
it's just an expectation we set for ourselves.
It's just an expectation we set for ourselves. And and everything is still in progress and everything is still, building up. And it's like okay to not always be perfect. And that's, I think, the lesson.
And sometimes just setting the expectation, I feel like, is a huge step.
Yeah.
Like, I here's my goal. It's kind of, I feel like a lot of people get disappointed in themselves when they set a New Year's resolution.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a really, really, typically pretty big role. It's like, hey, quit smoking. I'm like, even deciding to quit smoking is a pretty, I feel like, big step towards not smoking anymore.
Yeah.
And also you can like relapse 5 years down the line, start smoking again. It doesn't mean that year that you quit was a waste.
Yeah. That's a little bit how I feel about, not that I've ever been addicted to a substance that wasn't food. But I do have like a weird food relationship. And I think that I lost like 50 pounds from age like 21 to like, I don't know, 22, 23.
Oh, it was after you left college.
Yeah, it was sort of, let's see, when was it? It was like I was at Yelp still, yeah. So it was like right after college, I started like losing weight. Or no, it was during college.
Oh, you guys do 4 years,
in college,
right?
Yeah. I was like starting to lose weight. And at the beginning of college, or at my height, I was like the weight I am now. And but then I'm like 50 pounds delta from what I feel is my natural and target weight. But then in the pandemic, I had all these unhealthy habits and I ended up gaining a lot of weight. A lot of people gain a lot of weight. And I think it's just easier for me to put weight on. But just doing all of the, stuff for Creator Clash and all of these things where like my body composition has changed. So it's like I don't look like the weight that I am.
It's distributed differently.
It's just distributed differently and there's more muscle. But
it's like a second puberty.
There's still a thing in my head where it feels like this big failure that like I kept off this weight for like many, many years. And then like this global pandemic happened, of course. And that like,
allegedly,
that like kind of unsettled me. And of course, my problems in the grand scheme of things are like nothing. But in the sort of localized experience with my own self and my own mind, it's very scary.
And the fact that your body has changed means that your ideal weight is different. And we had different ages, etc. Like, even though the age you were, but the very specific number has been there.
It has like a significance. Yeah. And
it's like it could be 10 years from like some kind of tragedy, but sometimes you have that thing sometimes when you're like, oh, I'm just in like a weird mood today. And you have no idea what day it is, no idea what the date is. And then you look and you go, oh, it's like 10 years since that thing.
Yeah.
It's a little like that where you're like looking at the scale and being like, I don't like this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's just that number. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Is it solid? It is like a digit, like.
Yeah, and I think there is still a target, and I think the thing that I would tell people is that for me, and this is always, very personal experience, so I can't extrapolate it because I've only lived as myself. But one skill that I have developed and what's changed since I was, younger and did lose that weight and stuff is that I've gotten a lot better at forgiving myself. I think that is a muscle, and it's like becomes easier to like let yourself off the hook when you're like trying and you're, trying your best, no pun intended. And I think I'm focused more on the habits. And so that's why I joke, but like, that's why the Wingstop Jack in the Box thing is shameful. And I am letting myself off the hook and I'm playing up the shame because that's the like a very genuine feeling. I go, oh, why did I do that?
But you also, clearly comedy is something that we get a little bit of catharsis from.
Yeah, of course.
But also it is, a little bit of ego death and being like, how silly is this thing? This thing, I feel it. Yeah, I feel so-and-so. But also at the same time, hey, whoopsie daisy, trivializing it in a healthy way.
And recognizing that it doesn't change the way that really anyone in my life sees me other than myself.
Sure.
Like I think Eddie said something really kind, not to sort of, I don't want to air out too many of our private conversations, but just like about how, I think you would speak to this too. It's like, I don't look like an unhealthy person.
And there's so many, I think it's very easy to tie the weight back to what we're told is the priority, which is like trad attractiveness or like what we're supposed to look like so and so.
Right,
But
of
in
course.
reality, even when we feel that, we know that's not actually what we're talking about.
For sure.
It's just tied to it, and what you're not accounting for, because your brain sometimes will let you, is your sense of style has improved.
Right.
You figured out your hair in a way.
Yeah. Just the way you carry yourself and the confidence that comes with that. And confidence does go a long way, and that's also a muscle.
And forgiving yourself for like, I didn't really like my outfit today. You know what I mean? Like it's forgiveness literally very traditional forgiveness, in that like, well, I'm going to forgive someone for transgression if I do believe that they're going to try and do better.
Right.
And there's some behaviors I forgive myself for, and then there's other behaviors where I'm like a bit more stern. Like I'm not gonna hate myself, but don't fucking do that. Like this was slap on the wrist kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which sometimes is a little, you don't want to be too stern, but it's almost like parenting yourself more than like an adult to an adult.
Right. And I think that's better than kind of the insecurity stuff is like unproductive, but it's inevitable. Like everyone has insecurities. And for me, one of those things, like one of the first things that comes up if I'm like talking to someone in a romantic context and they like me, it's like, how can you like me? I weigh this number.
Right.
Like, isn't that insane? And then, but then I obviously now I can like overpower that, but I do still hear those echoes.
Sure.
You know, those propaganda posters that my like critic put up many years back that are still like stuck to the walls.
Yeah, that feels like, and the progress is so incremental that you kind of, it's like erosion. Like,
Yeah.
I want to see a big step forward in me defeating that critic, but in reality, every time you tell them off, you get 0.1% progress.
Yeah, it's like those grooves have been carved over a really long time, and you kind of have to carve new grooves. You have to build like new neural pathways. You have to like kind of practice that and like embed that in routine. And it just takes time. I think a lot of cognitive behavioral therapy is about that, like sort of untraining certain like thought patterns and like kind of retraining. And like, I think the premise of like CBT is that like you are like a summation of like all these thought patterns, or like your brain is. But anyway, I figured that, you know, hey, it's Sad Boys, so figure we can do that a little bit.
Those are my favorite kind of stuff. I like that ratio.
So, going away from the Sad Boy portion of the show,
I have been pre-approved.
I don't know how to tell you this. I have been sending those emails.
Oh, come on.
I'm PayPal.
The nicest thing you could think was a pre-approval.
Yeah, just to give you a little bit of,
pre-approval.
just like I send you those emails to go, hey man, your credit score is looking pretty good. Not
What?
great, but it's
Oh.
looking pretty good.
What's my real one?
I'll never tell.
Oh no. Well, I guess I'll never find out.
You gotta get a hard credit check for that.
But you do know.
Oh, I know.
Okay. Have I been pre-approved?
Well, one important Sad Boys update is that we are mourning something today. We are mourning the death of the Panera charged lemonade.
No.
They're getting rid of it.
No, come on.
They're getting rid of it.
This is why America has no culture. This is our problem. We used to build things like lemonade in this country.
We used to charge our lemonade in this country.
That's lazy lemonade.
We
now.
used to charge it with ungodly amounts of caffeine.
Can I say, last time we talked about this, as soon as I got home, it jumped out to me. I'm like, Panera Bread is like the most mundane brand ever.
Oh, yeah.
For them to be the one doing
That's
this,
killing people.
it is like, I don't know. It's like
It's so funny.
an angry worm. Like
It's like
supposed
the
to
most
be little and
it's like the most corporate coded. Like when I interned in San Francisco, I was in Soma. I was living in an apartment in Soma, and on the ground floor of the apartment building was a Panera Bread. And I would go there all the time, but it was just the most milquetoast, boring.
that's the whole thing, right? They're
Yeah.
kind of a little bit Mendocino, maybe a little bit less vibrant than a Mendocino.
Yeah. Mendocino kind of has that too, but the sandwiches slap.
Just so goddamn good.
Did they have an article, The Hill, like that? I'm curious about. I think maybe it's next to that X.
Just
two to the right.
4 years of journalism school. We have huge news.
Panera Bread is reportedly set to drop its charged lemonade drinks, which have been the center of multiple wrongful death lawsuits.
God, what an insane sentence.
When reached for comment, a company spokesperson told Nexstar via email that the company is leaning into its recent menu changes. We're excited to continue the success of our recent menu transformation. Isn't it funny? Isn't
fucked.
corporate speak so funny?
Hey, you know all those...
Our recent menu transformation?
Did you hear about the multiple deaths? We're excited, actually.
To transform our menu into something that causes fewer deaths.
I've never been more excited about anything before. Because what they can't say is like, we feel bad. They can't acknowledge the thing that happened. They just...
You know what's really interesting? This type of PR speak, it must be for investors, right?
Yeah, there's no way.
Because it's not for people.
It's like those, have you ever seen the, sometimes they'll get leaked internal brand decks for most often like video games or some often fast food restaurants as well, because there's such a huge number of people it goes out to. And they are like, they're for aliens. It's like talking about food in a way that you don't need to sell me as an investor or something on like, some of the sandwich is really good.
Yeah. No, literally. It's
okay.
like you changed your menu. No, we transformed our menu. Oh, how did you decide what to change it to? Well, we listened to more than 30,000 guests. Guests, not customers. It's like all these words are so perfectly crafted about what they, I mean, not perfectly crafted. It's not like the god of PR works at Panera Bread. No, sorry.
I think maybe if there was, we would have heard something better and sooner.
Yeah.
This just happened?
Yeah. I mean, we'll look at the date in a second because I want to read this part, but we did a survey and are focusing next on the broad array of beverages we know our guests desire, ranging from exciting on-trend flavors to low sugar and low caffeine options. I feel like low sugar, low caffeine is not in that press release without the wrongful death lawsuits.
Yeah, that is truly if Boeing was like, we're excited to offer a whole new suite of heavily doored planes.
Yeah.
Full doors on every plane.
Every door is guaranteed not to fly off.
And we know that one was sealed up and it wasn't technical door.
Did you see
we sealed it so much this time?
Did you see that a second whistleblower died?
Insane coincidence. I feel so.
Yeah, what
I
are
guess
the
they were
odds?
really sad about something unrelated.
You know what's really funny is that, and remember, this is a joke. This is a joke about what I was going to say. I almost said, "Did you hear they killed another whistleblower?"
That was. Because it sometimes feels that way based on the...
It's a joke. It's an extreme hyperbolic statement.
That would gratefully benefit the organization that we incorrectly would assume might have facilitated
why would I ever think Boeing would cut a corner?
Why would they do that? Why would they make an ethical compromise for the benefit of themselves?
No, that's never happened ever in the history of capitalism.
We're putting out a new gun that shoots you from 50 feet away 100 times.
We've transformed the way bullets fly through the air. After surveying 30,000 casualties.
Have you ever noticed how the guards go off duty while you're in jail at a very specific time? And then you fall off a cliff?
But yeah, so that's, I just felt like I needed to update the people.
And just say, damn, sorry, this guy was so sad about something unrelated.
Okay, in other news.
Are they still calling it?
I don't think they have it anymore.
Because I feel, even when that initially happened, I'm like, can you just put less caffeine on this?
Yeah, can you
make
charge
it more
it
lemonade?
less?
I don't know. I think if I was a charged lemonade fan, and especially if I wasn't familiar with any of that news, and I just picked it up still, and I would think I'm having the same thing, right? There would be nothing, I wouldn't noticeably be like, this, I'm not buying this anymore. I don't feel sick at all.
Yeah.
I'm not shaking enough.
In other news, Jacob prepared a TikTok trend for us to test.
Yeah, this is just a funny little thing that people are doing. I feel like it's not really that deep, but so this is kind of like a prime example of the difference between the two. So in the beginning, she's talking with her bottom teeth, and then this is top teeth talker.
Oh,
she's exaggerating it.
How do you do that? Are you supposed to sing that song?
So yeah, the test is you sing this song, and then you see if your bottom teeth show or your top teeth show when you talk.
Okay, wait, play the song again. Where do the good boys go to hide away? Okay, wait, I'm gonna look into the camera. Where do the good boys... Wait, I'm gonna do this natural. I'm thinking about it too much. Where do the good boys go to hide away, hide away?
So I would say Jarvis is a top teeth talker.
Ooh, cool.
All right, Jordan.
Give me a beat.
BBL Drizzy. BBL Drizzy.
Where do the good boys go to my teeth? Look at my teeth. Top. I mean, so top.
Yeah.
I
for
have
sure.
my resting face shows
Yeah.
my top
I'd say
teeth, right?
you guys are both a top teeth
I'm
talker.
a top teeth supremacist, I think. I think I'm
Yeah. I think a lot of people are, but also if you're a bottom teeth talker, you're beautiful. That's just all I'm saying.
And also, how are these damn freaks eating
Yeah.
apples? The hell? Are they starting at the base?
Okay, wait.
True.
I was convinced I was going to be a top tooth speaker. I'm
So
mortified.
here's someone who found out that they were a bottom tooth talker.
Is top teeth the consensus? Like that's the norm
It's-
in people's minds?
I mean, yeah.
Well, you don't want to say normal because it doesn't mean they're
Correct.
Yeah.
abnormal.
Interesting. You know what?
So you can see when he was talking, the
first
bottom
comment.
teeth were talking.
Look at the first comment. Proudly a top
Proudly
teeth
a top
talker.
teeth talker.
12,000 likes.
Wait, let me try to talk like bottom tooth. Where do the good boys go to hide away, hide away? I think I even showed my top teeth doing that. Damn.
Most people, the difference between being a bottom teeth talker and a top teeth talker is literally just smiling. So if you don't smile, you might be a bottom teeth talker, but then when you do smile, you are a top tooth
Oh,
talker.
I'm always smiling. Yeah.
So if you want to be a top teeth talker, just smile when you talk.
You know when I'm in, I stub my toe, and when I sing, I first stub my toe, I'm like, why do the boys go?
Dude,
I
that's
feel like
tough.
even when you're frowning, even you're a top teeth talker. So I don't know. I feel like it also has to do with like the way you tilt your head.
Yeah. Or like the way my
does it work with
the
where
way-
do the good
I just feel like
boys-
my lip goes up when I talk
Yeah.
with my teeth.
It changes my accent.
I also
to
think
change
your
voice.
tooth size probably matters because I have big teeth. I am one of my. I love when people have big teeth. It's the most attractive thing in the world
It's
to me.
really fucking
Like just huge teeth, not like the huge veneers that everybody like memes on,
Yeah.
but like just
Not
like
not like when they're bigger than the rest of your head. But
yeah.
I mean,
Not like Steve Harvey's teeth.
I mean, my whole life I have had this
Not
weird
to body
like,
shame Steve Harvey or whatever.
No,
Right,
it's
right.
well,
He's
socially
the
shamed.
richest man in the world. It's fine.
I've always had kind of I know we both have had a complex about like the straightness of our teeth.
Sure.
And I just got on my final piece of Invisalign.
True.
Every now and then, if I'm having like a good day, I look and go like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like a thing I wanted a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I also learned like how far my Invisalign is going to take me. There's like some limits unless I get some removed and we do it again or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy, satisfied.
Yeah.
There is at no point in my life have I not found slightly wonky teeth attractive. It has been,
Oh, yeah.
I've thought it's cool and sexy my whole life.
Yeah.
And without a doubt, still would look at myself and go, that's bad. People don't like that.
Oh, I mean,
I
like,
would, but no one else would ever. That's not how it works.
I think like Zendaya has like technically not perfect teeth. Like I think there's like one tooth that's like not perfectly aligned or whatever, and she's like extremely beautiful, and
Yeah.
everyone thinks
People
her
love that about her. Like,
Yeah, people love her smile. I mean, I love her smile. She's
Yeah.
amazing.
Don't talk about, I mean,
I'm just trying to get into challengers too.
we're not dating. I mean, me and her aren't dating. It's like
You're
we
not.
dated.
Actually, it's Tom Holland, a different British guy.
What? But I'm
Very,
Spider-Man.
very athletic. Maybe in another universe.
I'm Spider-Man in another universe.
I think that guy is
Stop making me backflip.
I think that guy is currently crashing out right now. I
It's-
Oh
think
yeah, he got
So-
robbed, right?
he got robbed.
Whoa.
He like shouted at like some other.
There was a video that came out of him throwing pizza boxes around when he worked at Domino's. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like he didn't get a tip or something.
Which I mean,
Which
hey,
is like, yeah, you
I'm
should
not
tip your
gonna-
pizza people. But
Yeah, you
not
should tip your
canon.
pizza people. But look, I'm not going to judge him for that. But I will judge him for like he was like shouting at some other NPC streamer that was like streaming near him,
Doc Ock.
Oh.
and
He was yelling at Dr. Octopus for killing Ant-Man.
yeah, he's had a couple things come out where I'm like, okay, buddy.
This is a big, broad statement about a person I don't know. However, if all of that other stuff was not bait, which it sounds like it isn't, because this is seemingly like a pattern of weird behavior, It would have been really smart bait. Like, that was really good. Sometimes you have people in your life who can be a good hang, who can be perfectly friendly, maybe even decent to work with. And then you hear something like, man, I got my phone stolen. Damn, that sucks. And then they're like, I got my phone stolen again. I'm like, okay, that's really unlucky. And they're like, I just had I've had 15 different good friends refuse to talk to me anymore.
Oh my God.
And you start going like, okay, these things aren't related, feels like, but there's something about you that's generating chaos.
Have you seen those people who have, now, if you have a crack in your phone, whatever. If you have a couple cracks, whatever, that can happen from one fault. Have you seen somebody who has a phone that's like truly destroyed?
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like cracked it's like just shattered.
And it's like not even a case of, well, I can't afford to get this new phone. It's like, I know people that will get a new phone. I've known somebody which had a new phone under Apple Care, would have covered the replacement. They're like, I can have a cracked phone.
No, my question is just how did it get that cracked? Because it's like someone who like routinely smashes their phone.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm like,
just unlucky.
What is that?
Just unlucky.
Like
no other factor.
Yeah, I mean, I recently cracked a screen, not my phone screen, but I think my iPad that is kind of broken. It's like a few years old. And when Dipper was a puppy, he like bit into it. He didn't like, it was in a case and like a soft case. So he bit into the soft case, but his bite was so strong that it like broke the front facing camera. Ooh. And also like left this huge dent in it. So it's kind of already been like kind of a little destroyed.
Somebody's
but it's good enough.
The pickle jar's been bumped a few times on the side of the counter, so when you open it, like,
yeah,
I guess I'm really strong.
It's fine. I'm not going to replace it. I don't think. They just announced the new iPads, and every time new technology comes out, I'm like, I want it. But then I'm like, am I really going to use it? I barely use the iPad I have.
I got a secondhand, like $100 or whatever, old iPad for manga only. And now that I'm not reading it, it's I need to take it off my Find My or whatever, because every time I leave the house, it's like, you forgot your iPad. Did you want to take your iPad with you?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get coffee.
Without your iPad.
And what's the place
by
your
weird.
house? What's the coffee place by your house?
Oh, I can't say.
No, the address.
I know what you're asking.
What's your address so we can find the coffee?
You're not. No.
I feel like you're not listening.
I'm going to go ahead and plead the fifth.
Jacob, address yours.
Speaking of leaking someone's address, let's talk about the Drake and Kendrick beef.
Oh, what a week. What a wonderful week with some of the most ice cold comments from Honky.
Let's can you pull up Not Like Us, Jacob? Because Kendrick is not claiming people's who are using his music, whereas Drake is. So we've got to take sides just on that alone.
The main thing he does is question, which he knows is going to mess with Drake. In general, the whole way through, anytime somebody disses Drake, their question is like culture credentials, right? Mm-hmm. To do that on some mostly pretty low-key beats, and then people be like, Kendrick doesn't have hood credentials, and then he reaches like a Crip Walk track.
Oh yeah, people were like,
cool.
Yeah, people were like, oh well, Drake's thing is he makes songs, and so they're like more listenable or whatever. And then Kendrick's like, me too. Actually, as of today, the Not Like Us is now broken a record for like most streamed on Spotify in a single day.
It's weird. The way some people have been talking about Kendrick, I think would be a more accurate description of J. Cole, where it's like, this is a great artist, but he's like, it's like kind of alt. As famous as you can be while being alt. And I'm like, he's huge. He's enormous.
Yeah, he's always been enormous, but yeah. What was your experience of background with Kendrick? What was your background with Drake?
Huge, enormous, big time Kendrick fan. I was one of the grumpy damn dislikers a little bit. But when I say dislikers, I'm like, this is an incredible record. Yeah. But this isn't what I wanted as a fanboy, or I was underwhelmed, and then Unmasked comes out. And I'm like, this is fucking great. Even his misses are hits, and and then when T-Bap came out, I was like, everyone's perfect but me. Yeah. But even then, I made a little bit because I was like, I'm in Mad City again. I'm in Mad City, and I like Kendrick because I felt like he's given me a lot of artistic direction, not in what I make, but in the sense of like, I felt like a education in adapting and exploring and experimenting, because it challenges me. I'm grumpy for a couple of days and they're like, oh no, wait, I just didn't I didn't know the ligaments here. I didn't know the
Yeah.
muscle group for this. And Drake, I feel like I've just always been in more or less the same place. But I for me, Drake is, like a fun pop artist, does
Yeah.
weird shit, but also like he kind of, I'm always a little annoyed when artists and people of a certain caliber. I'll compare to Elon Musk. Not that Elon Musk has anywhere near the merit that Drake would deserve, because he does. Like,
Though
artist,
Elon
he's
Musk
put
did
stuff
just
out.
follow Drake.
Class. Oh, maybe he's leveling up.
Yeah.
He started listening to rap, which he used to spell with a C, actually.
Yeah, he said, normally I don't like rap music, but this beef has got me intrigued.
Normally I don't like the kind of.
I don't think it's particularly cogent.
I don't like this beat kind of music.
Yeah.
But it's like Drake holds a similar place in my brain as Elon for the last couple of years. And I'm like, you're doing fine. Don't be insecure. Stop looking for approval from people that aren't going to give it to you. You can just be you.
Yeah.
It's like a lesser version of when LeBron lies about what he's reading.
Oh,
Just go be LeBron. You don't need to trick me.
LeBron's version of it feels like it has far fewer casualties.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's just embarrassing himself.
Yeah.
He hasn't done hasn't done harm elsewhere. He just seems to.
Yeah.
It's like, just go away, be really good at basketball. Go away in the sense of like, you don't need to impress me with like the albums you're into.
It's like this larger than life persona.
Yeah.
Where it's like when you reach that stage, I feel like they become obsessed with sustaining it. And then it's like the things that you end up doing to sustain that end up not having the results that you want. For me, so I am an old Drake fan. I really like
over 18.
Okay,
it's gotta be above.
I listened to the first Drake mixtape, Room for Improvement. I listened to the second Drake mixtape, Comeback Season. Listened to the third Drake mixtape, So Far Gone. I was a big fan of Thank Me Later. I was a big fan of why is the name escaping me of his best album?
Oh, if you're reading this?
No. 2011. Take Care.
Mm-hmm.
So a big fan of Take Care. And then around Nothing Was the Same time, it was 2013, is when I'm starting to fall off.
Mm-hmm. It's when he's starting to get self-conscious.
I'm liking Drake features here and there. I casually see like blips, but I was always a fan of Drake rapping. It's funny that this is about a rap beef, because I was always a fan of Drake rapping, and I was never really a fan of like pop Drake. Mm-hmm. It kind of annoyed me. Sure. And I feel like even So Far Gone is when he's starting to like mix that a lot. That's like his mixtape that he blew up on.
He kind of, I've always felt like he spent his remaining resources on, if you're reading this, and was like, here's what I can do at like dabbling back and forth. And I respect him as a flexible artist, like kind of like the Kendrick thing to some extent, although not in a way I that much enjoy. But I've never really been that fan of he's just catching a wave. Just like, that's fine.
Well, I can't speak for any of that time before 2013, but I know that around that time and around, if you're reading this, into Views, I liked a few songs on Views, but it's like I've started to divest myself. It's same thing happened with Maroon 5, except for it happened after the first two albums. Mm-hmm. Like after Songs About Jane and after It Won't Be Soon Before Long, their first two albums, I started to divest myself, and now I'm completely out. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, but I
don't know Maroon 5 super well. Did they kind of go the same route as Drake, where they became kind of singles artists, and they're actually like the albums maybe?
Where it's like much. Songs About Jane is like this like pop funk like record, and it's great. And then like they're starting to go more pop, but there's instruments, there's guitars, there's guitar solos, right. They're like a band. And then they slowly became, what is this?
Maroon 1.
This is all like synthy, like arena pop, or like that's like Target, like mall pop. You know?
Fun, Imagine Dragons environment.
Yeah, even that, like, I don't know. But it's like even big, I think even more plastic than any of those artists. And I love like, I loved 90s boy bands and stuff. So and I loved like Britney Spears and all that shit. So I'm no stranger to like pop, pop, shout out. Magnitude.
You also, I think I admire. I think you've always been like loyal to the output, not the trend. Like,
Sure.
approving of and being engaged with boy bands is something that I felt so unwilling to do. I would really enjoy a song, but I can't even like Britney because cooties, and I'm like 15. Like, this is way too late to
a
care
little
about
bit. That happened with Justin Bieber. And I never was fully on that train, but it was so popular to hate on him.
Yeah, it was,
It's whatever.
if you don't actually really at the time listen to a lot of music, but you post a lot on Newgrounds and you wanted something to say.
But at a certain point, Drake did fully go into vampire mode, where like he would just bring, like a young artist would come up, and then Drake would like hop on a feature, like sometimes would just straight up steal the song, and then would like try to sign people. But then we would sign people, they would like no longer have any output.
Yeah, they would.
And they would kind of just like turn into like writers at the Drake factory or whatever. And
ritual symbol on their back for the ascension kind of thing.
Yeah, or there's like he like stole Hotline Bling from Dram to the point where like it comes out on OVO Sound Radio on Apple Music as like a cha-cha remix, and then they rework it and it like no longer has any sort of connection. Oh no, it wasn't related to Dram song Cha-Cha.
This is an episode of NPR. This isn't even close.
And then the weird stuff with like minors and those stories started to come out. And then I was just like, okay, this is a weird guy. I'll like I'll like a song here and there. I'll like the features and stuff like that. But he's not even rapping that much. And so like every now and again when he would like rap on something, I would be like, oh, I like this, like 5 a.m. in Toronto or something like that. And then at this point, I like every Drake record that comes out, I'll like listen to it and I'm like, wow, okay. Yeah. Or like there'll be one song that I like. I liked First Person Shooter. And I'm a big J. Cole fan. And that's why this has been that's why the beginning of this beef was rough for me.
Which, let me tell you, even for the 5 seconds I clowned on J. Cole for apologizing, almost immediately after I started going like, well, no, that's like pretty sincere kind of badass.
No, you
and
actually,
then all this happened, I'm like,
in the same breath, you did kind of say like, hey, I mean, like, I respect it.
He's doing the thing that's harder, and it's like fun to joke about it, but it's not like a response came out like after that, and he got the shit kicked out of him, and then he apologized.
Yeah,
he quote unquote ran away because he just thought it was corny and didn't want to be involved with it.
Yeah, and he like put out a half-hearted like warning shot diss track where it's like identified as like a warning shot, like, oh, are we really going to do this type track? And his heart's not in it. And then he said it wasn't, and then he removed it. But then he
kind of has the exact opposite behavior as Drake when it comes to vampiring. He's like, he brings an artist to drink his blood and get his powers.
That's so true, because like there's a lot of his like artists that he works with, like he's like never stopped working with them, like Boss, for example, like but anyway,
Dreamville is like an orphanage that he's running and is like raising the kids just right. He's like Batman bringing in like wayward orphans.
That's so funny. Shout out Jid though, JID.
And shout out Bruce Wayne. But Batman. Oh fuck, sorry.
He doxed him again, dude. This is why I didn't give you my zip code,
because they don't want to know you live in the Batcave.
Okay, and so let's just go through the chronology. Metro Boomin and Future drop their album. I'm going off memory, so I'm probably going to mess up some details. They drop We Don't Trust You, which is like their album. And then on that, they have a song Like That features Kendrick. And then on that, Kendrick is like mostly dissing Drake, but then he lightly disses J. Cole.
He very specifically references a line from
First Person Shooter,
where J. Cole refers to like
where J. Cole says they argue who the hottest MC is, it K. Dot, is it Aubrey or me?
And he's actually very J. Cole about it, and like, hey, who cares? Yeah, it's great that we're the big three, all friends.
There's a very funny I saw a funny sketch about that because it was literally like, aren't we all amazing or something like that? But
I'll kill you.
And then he said, yeah, we the big three, like we started a league, referencing Ice Cube's Big Three basketball league thing that happens in the offseason. But Kendrick's main thing there is like, there's no big three, it's just big me. And Kendrick's done this before. Like there was 2013 where during Control, that era where he calls out everybody, and it's the sport of it. He's like doing it for the sport of it. He like went on record and said that that's kind of what his intention was with that, is just to like motivate everybody.
And he's also like, you know, over time, I think has had a more severe version of the Drake experience you were talking with, where it's like, I don't appreciate the guy that thinks he dominates this scene being artistically exactly what I don't respect. Yeah. But he's not saying like, you can't be here, you're trash at this point. He's saying like, no, I'm number one actually.
And
it's
Drake
not a
is
sneak diss.
always like straddling this line, because he's like, a lot of his big songs are songs and they're not rap songs. They're not hip hop songs.
And to be fair, very early, well, actually his whole career, but like especially early in his career, where I feel like he's probably forming his, it's like the formative years of in your career. He was being bullied constantly about his credentials.
Drake,
some of it, Drake. Some of it colorism, some of it just, hey, this is a little too pop. And then Drake also rightly gets, he was making music for a predominantly female audience. That was like the intent, and he's good at it. And it worked, and it should exist. And that got even more clowned on, so he had to become insecure about that. And it's like, this is not the right way to react to all of that.
I mean,
but
Drake's come up was like getting recognized by Lil Wayne. He, after these mixtapes come out, he goes to, why do I want to say Texas? But wherever Lil Wayne was. And then they record a couple of tracks. And this is like when I was like in the thick of it, because they recorded 2 great tracks that the names of which are now escaping me, but specifically to Drake kind of recognizing where he's from. Lil Wayne is like, you know, be Canadian, be like who you are, rap about being on TV shows. And like there's
Lil Wayne
lyric,
is like, he's bona fide, he's hip hop's hip hop.
Yeah.
Like it's him and like Doom. If you hang out with, well, not Doom now, unfortunately, but if you hang out with them or associated with them, it's like, oh, you're legitimate.
Yeah. I mean, even in the one that starts with Lil Wayne going, hello, hey, hi, how you darn? It's Weezy F, baby, come to taking shit and urine on the toilet, old bitches. But anyway, Drake has a lyric where he goes, I'm that same yellow boy that used to play up on Degrassi, could pocket 20,000 to be anywhere they ask me. And it's like, oh, okay, we're referencing Degrassi, we're referencing, like, he's always talked about like his blackness and his like struggles with identity in that earlier stuff. But you could tell that it's like an insecurity. Mm-hmm. And then he like started doing the like super fast forward. He started doing the like accent stuff where it's like, what is all of this?
Starts doing patois stuff.
Yeah,
and like,
and then there's like the
for what that one dance. I mean,
so then after like that, you have J. Cole dropping and then pulling his 7-minute drill. Then Drake drops Push-Ups, which I liked when it came out. I would like listen to it a bunch because he had to respond to a lot of people, because like right after like that came out, like Rick Ross and all these other people started
that was pretty funny
dissing him. And it's so funny that like, because it was like the 20v1 thing. So at that point, it's like Kendrick hasn't had a second response. But then Drake makes the first big self-own.
Yes,
of the beef.
He pulls he releases Push-Ups, and then next thing in the shower is like, oh, I've got a better. I
feel like Push-Ups was fine, and it was like
it's enough to respond to.
It's enough to respond to, but Drake said, no, that's not enough. I need to do the cringiest thing of all time.
I've told the guy he's short and that his feet are small.
Yes.
And where do I go now?
Yeah, I told him, Pipsqueak, you should pipe down. And then he made Tailor Made Freestyle, which was an Instagram only release because he obviously could not get any of it cleared, because he used deep fake voices for Tupac and for Snoop Dogg.
Crazy.
I never heard Snoop Dogg's response. Oh, Snoop Dogg's reaction is still up? Mm-hmm. What? Can you click on that? That is so funny. Wait, can I read this headline? Can you go back to the headline? Snoop Dogg reacts to Drake's new AI diss track. I'm going back to bed.
That's actually perfect.
Wait.
That should have been Drake's reaction to the first diss track.
They did what? When? How? Are you sure? Y'all have a good night. And to all. Why off? Everybody calling my phone, blowing me up. What the fuck? What happened? What's going on? I'm going back to bed. Good night.
That is so funny.
This works really well as any reaction.
That's the reaction to the whole beef.
Just, I mean, it could be a reaction to like that Bowen guy getting killed or dying.
What happened? Yeah.
What happened? When? How?
That's like Kevin T. Porter has this joke that every time a white man is caught up in some sort of sex crime, he posts this video that he made like 5 years ago where he's like, I've heard a celebrity recently has gotten into some stuff and he did some horrible, horrible things involving women. It's like, and it just, every time something like that happens, he just reposts that same thing. Okay, yeah, so Taylor Made Freestyle was really, no matter what he was saying on it, it was undercut by the AI trope that he was going for, and it was bad for many reasons.
Fucking so strange.
It's such a stupid choice. It's truly a dumb, I don't know what, it's like, and like, it's a sign that he's surrounded by yes men because, how could anyone let that out? Just knowing what's going to happen. Like, I get that he's trying to troll because he was like posting on Instagram and shit like that, but
was he doing it so that like Kendrick would be like, did Tupac really say that?
I don't know.
I can't believe he would bully me that way.
I guess the whole thing was, yeah, exactly. It was like, oh, you admire Tupac, so I'm gonna.
Kendrick's done, like, he has the edit where he's having a conversation with Tupac.
Yeah.
Trap Up T-Pap, right?
And then he also has, he actually used real deep fakes in the Heart Part 5 music video.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where it's like his head keeps changing to like Kobe Bryant and like.
It's just, I don't imagine that Kendrick cares really about the technology of AI.
Yeah.
He is just really good at pointing out when it's corny.
Yeah.
And that's what Drake keeps doing to himself in this whole thing.
There is
corny.
another use of AI in here. Well, first of all, people don't remember, there were lots of like AI diss tracks that were like dropping.
Yeah, it was rough.
Like push-ups dropped and people thought it was AI because it was unmastered.
And then after he dropped another track, they were like, oh, the other one was definitely AI then. It has to be because why would he do two in a row?
But then he officially released it and claimed it. And people think that he was just trying to test the waters and see what the reaction would be. And I'm like, I think if he did that for push-ups and not for tailor-made freestyle, that would be insane to me. So that didn't add up. There is a little bit of like people wanting to hate on Drake so much that they literally like don't give him any credit. And I'm like, that's fine. But then they give Kendrick all the credit. It's like, oh yeah, Kendrick actually created a 16-part entendre. And of course that it was all referencing, did you know that Lilo and Stitch also came out at 616? You know, so then after Taylor Made Freestyle, Kendrick comes out with Euphoria, which is like the big magnum opus diss track.
Which it's kind of that, it's the, this and the following one are the like, you fell for my ruse. You fell into my trap.
Well, yeah, so Euphoria comes out and it doesn't go deep into some of the allegations because I think it's still like in hip hop beef land. Like we're not getting too personal. Like he does talk about his son, talks about like plastic surgery.
It's kind of on the level of push-ups a little bit. It's like of like severity. It's a pretty kind of smack around a little bit. 616 LA is a little bit more intense, but this is like a very delicate, like, hey kid, fucking bam bam. Little shove, couple kicks.
Wait, can you play Euphoria? I want to get back into it.
I think people keep talking about Euphoria.
Euphoria.
Oh yeah, wait. Pause for a sec. What is that again? It's like
that's from The Wiz.
It's like I'm faking everything they say about me is right.
Yeah, everything they say about me is real.
True, maybe.
It's true. Everything they say about me is true.
Richard Pryor, right?
Yeah, it's Richard Pryor from The Wiz. It's
batting him around, doing parody, and then just
I hate you, and all the people around you hate you. You
just
have
nice
moles
and
in your
straightforward.
operation. Yeah.
There's also is the I hate portion is that reference to again? There's like a specific track that he's referencing.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe an older Rick Ross diss. There's no, which is like also saying I hate the way that you dress. I hate your stupid face. You're annoying. That's just so much worse than like any kind of zinger. If I was having a back and forth argument with someone about anything, and then they just said, "I don't like your teeth," you got stupid face. You're mid.
I'm gonna pull this up. He does kind of allude. There's a lot of good lines on here, like how many more black features till you finally feel like you're black enough.
Yeah.
Is this one the one that has? Is it the braids?
What was the consensus on the?
He calls a shot with the back-to-back stuff.
Was the Haley Joel was it Haley Joel Osteen? I think he does.
Yeah.
Was that a mistake? Because people keep saying
people said it was a mistake. I don't think it was.
Is there not something to it?
Oh, he said, N-word feeling like Joel. Oh, I can say the N-word. Just sometimes I choose not to. All right.
I'm not looking for a conversation.
N-word feeling like Joel Osteen. Funny, he was in a film called AI, and so maybe it's because Joel Osteen is the
megachurch guy. Right?
Is the megachurch guy.
But also, wait, I saw another thing that might. I don't know. It was like one of those immediate reaction thing because I gave the benefit of the doubt to B Sharp. And I was like, is that?
Oh, that was
B Sharp doesn't exist.
B Sharp doesn't exist. Is
he trying to say you need to see sharper or something? Like, given the benefit of the doubt,
it feels like
it
felt like someone like literally was coming up with that off the top of their head.
Yeah, it's like of all the ones to choose, it's kind of it's literally one of two that doesn't exist.
So then Euphoria ends with an interpolation of Kanye West's "Get 'Em High."
That sounds sick.
Where Kanye says, we don't want to hear that weak shit no more. But then Kendrick says, we don't want to hear you say the N-word anymore, no more. And that started a few days of discourse about whether or not light-skinned black people can say the N-word, which is stupid, and also not what Kendrick was talking about. He's talking about Drake like not being raised in the culture, not being raised by black people, and then kind of like co-opting it and, blah, 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 all that stuff.
And playing into his biggest insecurities. And also saying, hey, you're pop, which doesn't...
very famously, no one's criticizing J. Cole with also a white mom for saying the N-word.
By the way, lovely birthday treat on behalf of both these boys. Really nice for us in the week leading up to the birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Bookended it.
And then another track dropped as soon as I got to my car from birthday dinner.
Dude, 12 Days of Christmas or whatever. 10 Days of Christmas.
So then 616 in LA drops the same day. So Kendrick drops again. And no one believed it. And that's, he had the back-to-back thing. Did it really drop the same day? No, it didn't drop the same day. These dates are wrong. Oh, no. Euphoria was April 30th. Never mind. Okay.
And then Drake took a little longer than expected for a response.
Yes. And then Kendrick drops two more tracks. First, at the beginning of the day, it was literally 6:16 a.m. He dropped 6:16 in LA, which was making fun of Drake's timestamp songs, 5 a.m. in Toronto. There's a ton of them. I actually quite like all of those, most of those, at least the early ones. And he also like posts the glove. This is the one I've listened to the least because he released Meet the Grams after this.
That is my number one.
Yeah.
It is so mean. It is so fucking mean.
So basically, after Kendrick drops 616 in LA, Drake drops
Family Matters.
Drake drops Family Matters. And Family Matters,
I legitimately kept calling Family Feud in my brain.
Family Matters is complete with a music video where he's like crushing the like Dodge Caravan or whatever from Good Kid, Mad City, but it's like apparently the wrong model of car. Apparently it's slightly wrong.
I gotta say, the fact that there was a music video makes it weaker for me.
Interesting.
Trying too hard feels like.
I think that, to Drake's credit, and I think that now that some time has passed, people are giving the song credit for what it is. I think sonically it's like the best Drake comes on it. And then the music video is interesting because like he's, you know, crushing the Good Kid, Mad City van. And then he's also like at New Ho King, the restaurant in Toronto where he got his chain stolen in 2009. And it's a song that Kendrick references.
Well, yeah, isn't that when he was a rat? Isn't that what the allegation was? Because that's when he reported. Am I thinking of a different event?
I mean, he did report those guys to the police.
Yeah,
the guys who stole his chain and robbed him at gunpoint.
Something you got criticized for being a rat.
Yeah, which I don't know what the
fair enough. I don't know what the
I would probably, I'm not a rapper. I mean, if I'm getting held up, I'm probably gonna do something.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought that some of that stuff was cool. And then obviously there's big allegations on this where he's accusing Kendrick of domestic violence. And
which is kind of his big one. That's like the big target.
Well, that and that Kendrick's son is not his, it's actually his manager, Dave Freeze.
Neither thing with any evidence, but like this is not
the
all
only
an
evidence being that his wife does not follow Kendrick on Instagram and she follows Dave Free.
And Dave Free is in her top 5 MySpace friends. And
exactly.
Kendrick is not.
Yeah, I know. It's weak compared to what Kendrick replies with after because the song got to be out for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I think maybe it was closer to 40 minutes. And Meet the Grams is a full zoom out of the photo that was the album art for 616 in LA, revealing not only this Maybach glove, but some prescriptions for drugs, some like jewelry receipts.
Ozempic is one of them, right?
Ozempic prescription that is made out to, you know, Aubrey Graham, which is Drake's name. And then a shirt that like there was then some internet sleuths that were trying to say that this was all a gotcha for Kendrick because the shirt is a shorty collection and it's supposed to mean it was like people were like kind of reading the tea leaves and being like, actually Drake tricked Kendrick.
This was Twitter bait. This was like,
where it's like it's like even if it's true, Drake didn't respond like it's true, and he didn't like play his cards correctly.
Yeah.
So the Meet the Grams is a big statement because one, it's written as like a letter to every member of Drake's family,
starting with his son.
Starting with his son, where he apologizes. He says, "Dear Adonis, I'm sorry. This man is your father." And then it kind of goes through his mom, and then his.
We should mention. I mean, literally, just the Adonis portion is like, "Hey, sorry, this guy's your dad. I think he should be killed."
Yeah. I mean, literally, he gets to that too, because like with the Adonis stuff, he's like, "Hey, don't cut corners like your father did." Like with plastic surgery, just go to the gym, stuff like that.
Don't let anybody piss on your leg.
And then it kind of goes through, then when it gets to his mom, dear Sandra, he basically tells her she raised a horrible fucking person. And he thinks people like him should die, which is a rare moment where there's absolutely no wordplay.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I think you're horrible and people like you should die.
It's the one step further than I hate the way you walk and look and dress.
Equates him to Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, they should share a cell.
This is where all the PDF file allegations begin.
His growing claims that he uses he's a user of PDF files and also has some PDF files
on
in his
payroll.
Camp. Yeah.
And then also that, you know, he has people like find women and like, cause he has his own internal Tinder where he goes to a new city and brings he has his people like go find girls and bring them back. And then finally, the last letter is to an unnamed daughter, an alleged 11-year-old daughter that Drake is hiding, accusing Drake of hiding yet another child. And that is still not, you know, proven. But what's really odd about Drake's response is that in a song where he was accused of sex trafficking and pedophilia, among other things, he responded on Instagram being like, "Nah, I don't have a daughter."
Bullshit. Oh yeah, dude. I accuse you of punching people and also murdering an entire city.
I didn't punch anybody.
I would never.
I would never. Come on.
What am I, crazy? Come on.
And then Kendrick is like doing a victory lap, and like all of these songs had not been club bangers. And that was like, hey, they're playing Drake in the club.
Yeah.
When's the last time you heard somebody say, play that new Kendrick? Right? Well, today.
Yeah. Everyone was pushing back. They were like, actually, Mr. Morale, yawn, sleep.
Yeah.
Kendrick fell off. Can't make bangers anymore.
And then he drops Not Like Us the next day. And the album art is like citizen app sex offender icons on Drake's house. And
he has been on point with the album. I mean, that's half of it.
It's kind of a rehash of a lot of stuff that he said before, but now it's like hyphy.
Yeah. It's club worthy.
So then the other thing about this is that he's got the line, trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor, and that became a big thing, and
that's like section 80 Kendrick. That's just like it's like fun, smiling, like
oh yeah,
intense but like cheeky.
It's almost like a wildin' out like freestyle battle line, but like
you're trying to hit a chord. And it's probably A minor.
It's the punchline delivery. Like, I think people celebrate it not because it's an incredible use of wordplay, because it's not like that insane.
Yeah.
But compared to like anything else in a lot of these Kendrick songs, but the fact that there's wordplay and also the direct call out of something that has been bubbling under the surface for so long about Drake, where it's like he has this weird history with young women.
Oh, I mean, and history is just such a dense history.
Yeah.
That like, again, we're not equipped to make any accusations, nor would we, right? But at the same time, he's just pointing out a pattern of behavior that is logged. That there is footage of and proof of.
And so then Drake responded with the Heart Part 6 on her birthday, right after we got back from dinner.
Very good title. That was pretty good.
And it's basically a glorified PR statement where he just says, hey, no way, dude.
Bullshit.
Come on. That's not, I mean, and then of course,
you did that actually.
The famous line is that if he's too famous. If I was a PDF file, wouldn't the cops have caught me already? Which is just like not.
If I'm such a criminal, how come I'm not in jail?
Yeah, it's like that, which is just not how it, like everyone knows that's not how it works.
Just say anything else.
And also you were not going to win over the hip hop community by trusting the justice system.
It's like such a weird, it's very weird that the guy who is notorious for rolls heavy, he's got like a lot of ghostwriters, a lot of people around him. These keep getting through into these.
Yeah.
Because is it like nobody's willing to give him feedback on it, no one's pushing back? Or if they do, does he just go, no, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to change it.
So now, like basically everyone just like rolled their eyes at this Drake response, which feels like something else needs to happen. And we're at a standstill right now, except, well, asterisk. We're at a standstill right now between Drake and Kendrick, and we don't know why. Originally, there was a story about some like that UMG was trying to like put the pause on things, but then TMZ, who's like weirdly accurate with things that they shouldn't be, oftentimes
they've done good rebranding.
They said that story was false. So who knows why things are at a standstill right now? Because a lot of things are unaddressed by both parties, and who knows if we'll ever see that addressed. But no one, like basically Drake didn't do a good enough job to dissuade people from thinking that everything Kendrick was saying was true. So they're just going to run with that.
I guess the best counter to accusations is not,
yeah,
you did.
I mean, is just not it. It's just not the way to go.
Actually, that was my idea. We planted that, and you believe that about the daughter? What?
And the thing is, like that, I still think that there is credibility to that narrative.
That horrible idea could have been true.
The thing is though that it's not communicated. The whole idea would be, okay, we planted the story and now it kind of hurts the credibility of everything you're saying. But the way it was communicated, people are like, wait, so you told Kendrick you were a PDF file?
and that you
he's
had
like,
a daughter that you
yeah, and it's like, I
about?
think that they just meant it to be the daughter stuff or whatever, but they just didn't, like Drake's initial response about the daughter should have been his, you've activated my trap card moment.
Yeah. And here's some screenshots
And
of
here's some
text
proof, but
we-
none of that, like all of it's just words, right? But yeah, it's not a very good song. It kind of just feels like contractually obligated to like try
Yes.
to argue with it. And so that's where things stand right now on May 7th, 8th. That's where things stand on May 8th. But
And it's been a war. We're
one
older
of
because
the
it.
lines in Push-Ups, the only line dedicated to Metro Boomin,
Oh, yeah.
was Metro, shut your hoe ass up and make some drums. And
his job.
Metro answered the call, created a beat, and we're going to talk a little bit later about AI music because we were talking about it earlier, but someone made an AI kind of like soul track. Have you heard the original of the BBL Drizzy thing?
No.
Jacob, can you go to Twitter and I don't know if you have it already, but if you just type BBL Drizzy original in the Twitter search. So this is an AI song.
Cool.
And one, I just have to say how far AI music has come
Oh, yeah.
in the past few months, which is very scary.
And the ethical decision is just an ethical one, not a, and also it sounds bad.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of the thing getting in the way for a long time.
And
It didn't sound quite
so
right.
then Metro Boomin, I don't even think Metro Boomin knew it was AI because it just like the song got to him. And then and he didn't even know who created it because he later tweeted about that. But then he made a beat sampling this AI song and then created a contest where people all over the world can diss Drake
It's so
to
cool.
the BBL Drizzy song. And so we've gotten everything from like people doing classical Indian dance, someone playing a guitar solo over it, someone playing a saxophone solo over it. And so then people are rapping over this beat in Japanese. They're teenagers who don't know Drake from Adam, just going in. And so it's created this tiny army of diss tracks on the BBL Drizzy
There's
song.
little recruits.
Let's play can we play the beat?
The lyrics are bad.
All right, yeah. So it's maybe we can play that saxophone one since that came up first when we typed it in.
Yeah, that was sick.
And I really like that one.
Even though they're not saying directly, it's just so funny for this to be so popular. We were, what was it you said earlier when we watched you said a saxophone's like Mjolnir.
Oh yeah, it's like it's got you've got so much power.
As soon as it appears.
as long as you've got one in within earshot.
Yeah, it's an anime counter.
Oh yeah. So wait, can we go back to that Vulture article? I want to give a shout out to the author of shout out Tom Smith for the track by track timeline, and then
Smith
if you
with a
scroll down
Y.
to the very bottom, I want to shout out one of my moots. Oh wait, no, not to the very bottom. Actually, I lied. Just the bottom of the article. Can you click on what are we to do with all this nastiness?
It's British.
Shout out Craig Jenkins, one of my moots, who did a great sort of write up, more in terms of the actual like what this means, and where do we go from here.
Yeah,
very well written.
well put together. The
piece by
consensus is
Craig.
kind of becoming like there's no response needed from Kendrick, really. There never was. But it's like a weird, the memes are still, hey, remember when he said he was a PDF file and his response was bad? So there's nothing, Kendrick could just let that live.
I just sent you
is that?
one more that was very funny to me.
Yeah, right, good.
That's
I know, it's so
a
cool.
lot of lore.
There's a lot of lore.
There's Attack on Titan spoilers, guys. Be careful when you watch that.
But this one's funny because one, Drake says he's big in Japan and he's criticizing Kendrick early on in the beef, I think in push-ups. And then like a Japanese rapper comes out and he's like, hey, keep Japan out your mouth. And OVO Tokyo is permanently closed here. So funny.
What, did it have open hours before?
Yeah,
like you could go around?
It was their like
it was their
merch
merch
shop.
shop.
Yeah. Because they have a bunch of them around.
closed.
And they're getting vandalized now. People are
right.
like spray painting like Not Like Us on them and stuff.
It's a little much.
Yeah, it is. And then also we should note that in an what is believed to be unrelated, one of Drake's security guards was shot.
Oh, what the? Okay.
Yeah, that's in relation to probably this beef that's going on with The Weeknd, because one of Weeknd's people was like shot, and it's like probably retaliatory. But yeah, so that's all happening. But that's all I got for this beef.
Beef review.
Beef review.
Moo.
It's nothing has compared to being online during this. It's been insane.
This is like, without the bigger wide world implications, this is like early 2016 Twitter, where it's just people, it's just Trump saying bad but funny stuff, and then a ton of people being pretty funny about it. And then the world became really unfunny for like 4 years.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, and then another 3 years.
This is just like a side distraction from, the horrors of, the genocide that's going on right now.
There is something, I think maybe
Israel is like invading Rafah border, and just like,
I think we mentioned it before, but we are fully endorsing and supporting campus protests.
Oh yeah, we talked about it on the nights because it just forgot to bring it up. But yes, solidarity to all of the campus protesters. Obviously, everybody be safe and everything. But
if that's something that instinctively bothers you, us saying that, you need to rethink some things. Maybe get some life experience or perspective. I don't know.
And also, I tweeted this, but just like these protests are. Well, no protest is ever good enough for anyone, and everyone's going to always have an issue. And specifically, there's always going to be people who introduce violence, who are not the fucking nonviolent protesters, but it's like either counter protesters who are trying to harm them so that the police get involved. And then and then you're seeing just all these videos of police like fucking throwing children and fucking old professors to the ground.
And just escalating it on purpose.
Escalating it to no end. Like, it's just like, by and large, a nonviolent protest that is being made violent by the police state.
Which does not benefit the people that would want that at all. Like, at no point has any of that happened and people have gone, wow, I guess these protests aren't good.
Yeah.
Because they got attacked. Like, what? If you, by the way, anybody that has the instinct when they see anything in this vein, but especially the consistency and bravery and all the trials and tribulations that these protesters have had to endure, and your instinct is to point to like conduct or politeness or inconvenience of students or something. You have a bad heart. Like this, your soul is worse. And you're permanently bad. Now, you can improve the way you conduct yourself and stuff. I just want you to know that no one will ever really be able to love you, because there is a pit in your soul that you can only ever perform to be good.
Yeah.
Live in a volcano that's active.
Yeah. So again, just like solidarity to the students. I've been posting some like bail funds and stuff on my Instagram.
Should we chuck some in the description?
Yeah, we can throw some of those in the description, just for helping bail out the students who are like going to jail for peacefully protesting and exercising their freedom.
They're completely legal
protest.
right to protest.
Yeah.
But it's like legal, but it's not legal,
Right. Well,
this is rude.
Yeah.
It's
think
mean.
of the property.
They're being rude to my dad, Joe. They're hurting his old feelings.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. So we're doomed. But the beef is a fun distraction from that. It ended spiritually when Elon Musk responded to academics with everybody's talking about this battle. Can we click on this? This is the funniest fucking Family Guy meme.
Elon says everyone is talking about this battle.
No one wants you here.
That was Elon's birthday gift to us, by the way.
Yeah.
Also, checking Elon off on the Sad Boy. Oh, I already talked about him, but
yeah,
check him off on the Sad Boys
check him
bingo
off
card.
twice.
Make sure. Yeah, two big X's on it.
So, lastly, we wanted to talk about AI music, like the BBL Drizzy song, is much like just generative AI as a whole, taking a big leap. And
wait a minute,
Jacob found some TikTok accounts that are doing AI stuff. And this is all in criticism of AI, like when we're showing this. And there's even a tool or a service that I want to show people just to like kind of understand where we're at. But obviously we are on the side of creatives and in general, AI to enable creators and not to replace. But then in situations like this, you just imagine like bigwigs, record executives just trying to replace. If you can make a hit song with AI, then that doesn't have feelings. That can always generate more.
Yeah, I mean, right now there's just no contingency for what we're saying when we say like we can have. I'm more than happy to advocate for AI tools. Enabling creatives in whatever way, but right now there's nothing in place to make sure that that's what's happening.
Exactly.
There is currently no contingency for that. Like,
yeah, other than intellectual property being used to train AI, which is like technically illegal, but really hard to track down. And so you only see it when like the AI accidentally generates like a Getty Images watermark.
yeah. Or
and then you're like, oh, I wonder where you got that from.
Makes him a bottom teeth talker, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The worst thing you can be.
All right, so Jacob, what do you got?
I want to show you guys this one account that really surprised me in terms of just how far the like technology has come. They have this series of videos prompting AI to make a hit country song that I think is hilarious.
Would it be funny if I got a truck? I get my license and then I just turn up in a pickup truck, loose lumber in the back of it, unsecured.
I would love if you got a truck because then you could like help me haul stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would actually need you for a lot of things.
It'd be unironically very useful.
Yeah.
No. I would not do that.
Or if you get a white Dodge Bronco.
Ooh.
Wait, is it Dodge Bronco? No.
Is it a Ford Bronco?
Is it a Ford?
It's a Ford Bronco, yes. The one that I used for it, or the one that my dad OJ used?
Yeah, it's a Ford Bronco. Yeah. Just get yourself a white Ford Bronco.
Hey, I feel like that's somebody famous had one.
Yeah, get on the highway. Like? Get on the highway.
Yeah, I'm driving. I mean, what's the problem?
Did you see that they like sold it or something?
Oh, really?
For a lot of money.
I don't want to spend that much money on it.
I think you bought it.
I mean, it's either spiked the price of the value of those cars way up or way down, right?
Yeah, 1993 one too.
I think the name Orenthal probably took a dip, maybe, or went way up.
Oh well, let's look at day one of asking AI to make a hit country song.
Here's the first one.
In my pickup, rolling down the dirt road, got my boots on, a flannel in my country soul, bumping that banjo, mixing it with some beats. Don't need no city lights, just these country streets. Sipping on sweet tea, kicking back on my porch, watching the sunset. There's nothing I want more.
It feels like a Mad Lib.
Yeah.
All I need is these country streets.
Sipping on my sweet tea.
Sweet tea. Country drink.
The funny thing is that him saying banjo in this song where there's not a single banjo present.
And I don't know if they'd say like with these beats. That seems off brand.
Well, let's keep going.
Right.
Well, I want to hear more.
I want to learn his name.
Like the feeling of the southern land. Country living is where it's at. Boots and the cowboy hat.
This is
the wild, wild
It sounds like an alien trying to convince you that he's like from the country.
Oh, me, I'm just one of your human country, your folk.
I love my big country boots and my big country hat and these country streets.
I don't need the city. I need these not city, the normal
No
street.
city lights for me.
I got my cowboy hat and my cowboy boots.
I'll take country streets, please.
May I have my country truck?
Siri, navigate to the country streets.
Yeah. So then I think they just started having a lot of fun with it. So these ones are pretty funny too.
I woke up in the morning to crack
What the fuck is that image?
First of all, the AI art that they've created is a man in the bed of
badass.
his truck with a bunch of beer cans, but his body is backwards.
Killed.
His body is backwards.
Yeah.
He was turned 180 degrees starting at the hip, but his toes are still pointed up, and he's making a
Yes,
snow
so it's
angel
like
in some
an
Bud Light.
action figure where it's got like rotating around the waist.
Yeah.
I ruined it.
Okay, and then also I have to say that this country song is a different era of country. This is
Yeah.
based on like more old school country.
This is like a
Right.
Montgomery Gentry.
Mm-hmm.
I got my truck and my wife.
Then went down to the kitchen to grab myself a beer.
Oh, I was hoping he'd do that.
That's awesome.
Made myself some breakfast, another beer. My baby said to me, I want to get a divorce. Definitely need to go grab another beer or two
True.
for free, so I can start thinking clear. Oh, it's a perfect day for beer. Yeah.
It's funny because like Bo Burnham made this joke really
Yeah.
well.
That's him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's just got divorced. There's a Montgomery Gentry song, I believe, called Titties and Beer. I think.
I got beer in my boots, dirt on my truck, corn on my mind, and
Okay.
I got corn on my mind.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Clean your guitar.
Oh, no, it's mud. He's country.
This is wrong.
down. At least there's dirt, at least there's beer and trucks and shirts. Beer and trucks, guns and bullets, red coats, dirty beer, dirty bullets. Let's all cheer. Oh.
I'm like wondering if it's written by like a person. This like kind of feels like it's written by a person.
Or
And
at
then
least
sung by an
prompted
AI.
to, like,
Yeah.
Write a
You
beer
know.
with.
Include the line guns and butts.
Yeah.
They had the prompt on the first one and none of the others.
What are the other types of songs?
The rest, these are my other favorite ones.
Jacob,
Go
this is
ahead
why
and
you
pick
were
your-
asking
Pick your
what.
poison.
This is why you're asking the origin of the Chick-fil-A, isn't
Yeah,
it?
because I was trying to type this out.
The Chick-fil-A gospel.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Jacob,
I'm curious about the Chick-fil-A
we would
gospel.
never point out if you misspell something on the board.
Yeah, no, you've never done that.
But I know where I'm headed, my heart starts to bleed. I'm making my way to the promised land where the chicken's golden and the blessings expand.
Oh, it's in a Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A,
They just come out and say it.
these chicken blessings, it can't be ignored.
Chick-fil-A is not open on Sunday, by the way.
It's
So
the
this-
Lord's Day, you know?
Because this is what's happening inside of Chick-fil-A.
It's full.
Yeah.
They're blessing all the chicken.
Wait, let's go. Okay, so there's a service. I'm so convinced that these song AIs were not ethically trained on like public domain music because they're able to make things that don't sound. Like it seems like they have access to so many genres that like aren't super available in the public domain.
It does feel like country thrives in that format.
Yeah,
It's
but
not a criticism of country. It just seems to get it just right.
so let's generate our own country song.
Ooh, okay. Has anybody made one about beer yet?
Oh wait, don't we gotta give it a prompt. What if we did it as like Drake's response to Kendrick
Response in country.
in country? Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
Now,
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, you wanna?
if there's one thing they love in Canada, in the six actually,
Okay, so we're in the sixth.
one thing they love is those country streets.
Okay, yeah.
Not Toronto hates the big city lights. In Toronto, what they love is the beer one, having a beer and a filthy guitar.
So we're gonna create a song for Drake to respond to Kendrick Lamar because he can't do it on his own.
No, and it's please don't even mention any of the things that he said about him.
So here's gonna be the song prediction. Create a modern country. It's not a ballad. It's not a tune. What would you call like a big country song? Like a
epic.
Like modern country epic.
Modern country epic.
Modern country epic.
Is that like epic?
Yeah. No. Epic.
Like epic bacon.
Yeah. Create a modern country epic from the perspective of the rapper Drake, who is currently losing a rap battle.
Can we also include
wait. With Kendrick Lamar. Sorry, I want to make sure we needed I'm gonna make sure these details are in here. Okay.
Can we throw in something along the lines of make sure to reference how many daughters he doesn't have? Because he made that up.
And because I want to make sure that beer and country stuff is in here.
Yeah.
Make sure to reference beer and trucks. Okay. How's that sound? So we'll take that. We'll create that.
I think this is V3 or V2.
Yeah, V3.
Come on.
Create.
Yeah. This does take maybe 60 seconds. It's pretty quick.
Well, it's got to be good. It's called Country Clash.
Country Clash.
That's cool. That's already
We'll be
cool.
ready soon. Oh, here it is.
Ooh,
all right,
two different artworks?
Here we go. We have two different versions, but let's listen to the first one. Country Clash.
Described as twangy country.
All right.
Sipping on moonshine, feeling so fine. A country boy rap,
Straight.
that's what's on my mind.
Yeah, very
But
exciting.
I'm in a battle against Kendrick, you see. He got the upper hand, he got me on my knees.
True.
Like daughters, yeah, he loves to tease. Show him I'm a lyrical beast. I may not drive a truck, but I got the skills to make country music rap. Give you what it is.
Just listen to the next track. It'll have the same lyrics.
Oh, well, that's the same lyrics, but it's still
Yeah.
twangy country.
Yeah, it's just a different.
Sipping on moonshine, feeling so fine. A country boy rap, that's what's on my mind. But I'm in a battle against Kendrick, you see. He got the upper hand, he got me on my knees. Like daughters, yeah, he loves to tease. But I'm here to show him I'm a lyrical beast. I may not drive a truck, but I got the skills to make country music rap, give you all the chills.
Okay.
Cool. This is not terrible.
I can't wait for verse 2.
Country rap sensation, but Kendrick's got me in a sticky situation. He's got the beer and the trucks, the whole package. It's a country with some rap damage.
All right.
That's such
All
a
right,
funny
let's-
diss track.
He is Drake, the country rap sensation.
God, Kendrick doesn't. He may like daughters, but he does have a
like
truck.
daughters.
Now,
But he
Drake-
loves to tease. Sipping on moonshine, feeling so fine. A country boy rap, that's what's on my mind. But I'm in the battle against Kendrick, you see. He's got the upper hand, he's got me on my knees. Lax daughters.
Yeah, I caught you lacking daughters wise.
Doesn't Kendrick have a daughter?
No, he likes daughters. I mean, I don't want to pay attention.
That's in the song. Yeah, that's true.
that's his claim. He has to prove. He has to give evidence that Kendrick doesn't have a daughter.
All right. Well, I think we've solved it.
All set. Okay, Kendrick, you may have made those accusations, but you ain't got any daughters.
No
And
daughters.
you love to tease.
And you love to tease. We're going to be continuing the show over on patreon.com/sadboys, where we have our after show, Sad Boyz Nightz, full length, I might add, of which there's like 50 plus of those now. So it's like hours and hours and hours of content.
Too much.
Too much, really. On Sad Boyz Nightz, there's a lost media song that was found in a very funny way. Also, an AI wellness influencer account on TikTok that we're going to investigate. And you don't have to subscribe. Use your discretionary entertainment spending on this, if you would enjoy it. And it helps us out, of course. We will also be on our $15 tier be reacting to a cut video of teens judging adults on how cool they are, which is more research than anything.
It's education.
Yeah, I need to learn how to be cooler. So that'll be happening on our $15 tier. That is even extra. You don't have to subscribe to it, but if you really want to watch reacts, we do like hour-long reacts over there like once a month. And we end every episode of Sad Boys with a particular phrase.
Oh, we love you.
And we have daughters. And we're sorry. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
I'm 39, and these are the only 5 things I call bull crap.
Probiotic-rich food, celery juice, prebiotics.
Colostrum.
Colostrum.
Does anyone want to guess what they're selling?
Is it a powder of some description?
Oh my God, it's Miracle Moo Colostrum.
What?
Not even worth 1 star.
Whoa.
I joined the bandwagon and fell for this crap. I mixed it with 16 ounces of water 20 minutes before I had lunch at 12:30 p.m. By 6 p.m., I was feeling nauseous.
Gucci girl, how you doing? How you moving, girl? Moving, girl. How's your day looking? That future girl, yeah, we on now. Take my money, go away, all you want it.
Girl, too rich for me.